family function, more like family dysfunction. Shout out to Screen Media Pixels for sending me the screener for Riff Raff. They sent me the screener, and I took a look at it. And I'm gonna give my honest thoughts about it. So here we go. So just to recap, Lewis Pullman right here is a low-level associate of a crime family out of New York, and he gets himself into a bind. He does something that he's not supposed to do, and then him, his girlfriend, and his mom get in the car, drive up to Massachusetts to Ed Harris, to his dad's house, who's played by Ed Harris, and Gabrielle Union is his stepmom. They pull up, and Ed Harris does not like this because they show up at 4 in the morning, and the only people that show up 4 in the morning are family members in trouble and home invaders. As the movie progresses, we find out what's really going on and why the real reason behind this trip. Ed Harris just keeps prodding and prodding. It's like, hey, dude, what's going on? You got to tell me. Lewis Pullman tells him that he did something to offend Bill Murray here, who is the crime boss in this movie. And he did something. He overstepped the line, and now he's got to pay. And a lot of this is revealed throughout the movie in flashbacks and exposition. So, I thought this movie was okay, but I didn't think it was great. I thought there was a lot of potential in this movie, and I just felt like they just could not figure out the tone where they wanted to walk through. It was like it wanted to be a comedy, and yet it wanted to be a crime thriller, and yet it just didn't know how to walk that fine line. Like they just didn't know how to do it. Yeah, there were some funny parts, there were some thrilling parts, but overall, this is a crime thriller. This is a crime movie. This is a crime thriller, and yet nothing about this movie was thrilling. Nothing had me on the edge of my seat because there was nothing in this movie that had any urgency. There was no urgency. Lewis Pullman was on a fucking ticking clock the whole entire time, but yet we never felt that. Also, the casting of Bill Murray is kind of interesting here. I am not a Bill Murray fan, so I think that also plays into it because I just think Bill Murray is overrated. I don't like it. I looked into it, and the original casting was actually supposed to be Brian Cox. I thought that would have been a much better fucking fit for that role. I felt like Bill Murray just was not invested in this movie. Pete Davidson was completely underutilized. Like, I'd like to see him more in this role because I think he adds something to it, but he was just completely underutilized in this role. Jennifer Coolidge has some of the funniest dialogue in here, but again, she's just typecasted as the ditzy blonde and the drunk. So it's like there's nothing there for me. Ed Harris, the retired hitman. Okay. The movie is okay. This movie could have been way better. Like, this was like, had this movie figured out a way to really kind of channel the Ref and Seven Psychopaths, I think this movie would have been way better. Maybe add some urgency to the script, because why you just laxy-daising? Like, you have like 2 motherfuckers coming after you, and yet you're not worried enough. What the fuck? Riff Raff comes out February 28th. I would highly recommend going in to see this movie for yourself and come up with your own takeaways from this movie. I myself did not enjoy this movie as much as I wanted to. Stay away from the trailer because the trailer gives you a comedic tone that is very absent throughout this movie.